Here's 2 hours of Europa Universalis V to fall asleep to. Join me in this grand strategy game as we follow the tutorial and play as the Kingdom of Norway. Can we survive and reach the Renaissance era? Hello Homo sapiens and welcome to Europa Universalis V or V. So this game came out yesterday, but we're going to be checking it out. A brand new game from Paradox Interactive. Brand new. Not like a continuation to number 4, but looks like there is not really tutorial, so per se. We could watch one, but we're simply going to head into a game. Europa Universalis V is a deep, historical, grand strategy game about the fate of nations during the late Middle Ages and early modern period as they vie for global power through war, diplomacy, colonization, and social and economic change. If you are new to Europa Universalis and its mechanics, we suggest selecting one of the recommended countries, or if you are an already experienced world leader and want to skip the tutorial, click the select any country option. I am new, so I think I'll have to play with a recommended country. Let's play with a recommended country, so I think we're going to go for, let's see here, Norway. I mean, I'm from Sweden, so I guess I'll play as our closest neighbor, Norway politics. Being in personal union with Sweden. I knew I should have picked Norway, my Norwegian brothers. The Kingdom of Norway faces a new and challenging period. Along its fjords and valleys, the vast national resources, especially timber and fishing, could allow its people to enrich themselves. And with prosperous and content states, more intense diplomacy could be fostered with its neighbors in Scandinavia and the North Sea, allowing Norway to prosper again. Focus on the internal politics by dealing with the administration and estates of your country, and also establish deals and alliances with other countries to strengthen your international position. Okay, well, I want to learn about the game, so let's play. Let's see what this game has to offer. Let's see. I really played a game like this, but there's a first time for everything, right? So let's just see here. Loading save game. Yeah. Nothing is so gentle as man. Oh, okay. The Kingdom of Norway. Welcome to Europa Universalis V. Nearly 5 centuries of history are about to unfold before you. As the spirit of your nation, you have the power to choose how. You could conquer the world, develop your society into a flourishing utopia, or become an unrivaled economic power. Whatever you choose to do, history is yours to control. Okay, we will click next. Let us go over some quick basics before we begin. The most important thing in the game is the map and finding your way around. It is essential. Use the keys W, A, S and D to look around the map. Use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. And by holding tab you can see an overview of the whole world. Okay. Interesting. Game concepts are highlighted in blue and contain information about specific mechanics you might encounter within the game. We could, for instance, say that you play as a country. By default, nested tooltips are accessible by waiting a short time for them to lock, after which you can continue to hover tooltips inside the tooltip. You can also lock tooltips with the middle mouse button. This behavior can be changed in settings. Interface tooltip settings. Okay. Interesting. And then, okay, so I can do that. And then middle mouse button. Interesting. A country is a political entity that can participate in diplomacy. It has a government, a primary culture, and a primary religion. It may control armies and navies to project its power. Every country is either settled, extraterritorial, army-based country, or a society of pops. Each country is played either by a human player or by an AI. Interesting. So, that's next. In Europa Universalis V, you play as the spirit of the nation, an abstract representation of your country. You're currently playing as the Kingdom of Norway, a country with King Magnus VII as its ruler. But the guy is Swedish. King of Norway, King of Sweden, King of Every country may have a character as its ruler. Depending on the government type, they may rule for life or for a set period of time before being replaced. The traits of a ruler affect the entire country, and the administrative ability, military ability, and diplomatic ability have a direct impact on the efficiency of the cabinet. Future rulers are selected by the succession law. While there is no legitimate adult, the government is instead ruled by a regent. Okay. The top bar consists of a few different elements. It will stay here at the top of your screen from now on to provide you with an overview of your country. You may also notice that there is a date in the top right. This is because the game plays out in real time. Do not worry though, we are paused right now and nothing is happening. The leftmost section of the top bar displays your estates, which are groups that hold power within a country. As a player, you are represented by the crown. Interesting, wait. We'll get back to the estates later, but for now keep in mind that every estate holds a percentage of the country's wealth and power and has a level of estate satisfaction that you can track on the top bar. The distribution of power between estates will vary from country to country, with some countries having access to unique estates altogether. Next, let us take a look at the resources and statistics in the top bar. This is the middle section of the bar, which contains the most relevant resources you will need to keep track of while governing your country. You will need to spend ducats for many actions in this game, from paying your soldiers to building up your cities, but truly your most important resource is your population, as they constitute the foundation of your politics, your economy, and your armies. Another particularly important number is your stability, a measure of your internal resilience that will help you keep your estates and population loyal, and that you can use to influence the politics of your country. We'll visit the rest of the numbers when they become relevant. For now, let's continue. Europa Universalis V plays out over the course of hundreds of years. You can see the current date in the top right corner of the screen, which is also where you control the speed of the game. Time is divided into 6 different ages. Right now, we're in the Age of Traditions, which will end in the year 1342, to give way to the Age of Renaissance. Within each age, you will have access to new advances to research. As mentioned before, the game is currently paused, so you're not missing out on anything. Interesting. The main panels. Let us take a moment to go over some basic elements of the interface. Starting with the tabs in the top left. There are 8 different panels accessible from here, which you will spend plenty of time in. They are government, economy, production, society, diplomacy, military, geopolitics, and advances. On top of the game concepts that you can find all across the game, some key game mechanics have associated hints that offer a more detailed explanation, along with some suggestions. Hints can be consulted at any moment in the hint panel. Whenever you see this icon in a tooltip, clicking it will take you to a related hint. Okay. Europa Universalis V is a vast game that allows for countless different playstyles and possibilities. Regardless of whether you fancy yourself a ruthless conqueror, a shrewd politician, or an administrator endowed with the touch of Midas, there are some fundamentals that every successful ruler needs to master. Let us have a look at them. As we mentioned, ducats are one of the most important resources in the game. Most actions cost ducats, and very often your ability to impose your will as a ruler, both outside and inside your country, will depend on the wealth you're able to concentrate into your hands. The path to global domination is paved with gold and blood. Most of your finances are controlled from the balance panel, so let us have a closer look at it. Okay. What in the world am I looking at? Holy, this looks complicated. Here you can find an overview of your balance. Difference between your income and your expenses. Okay, makes sense. We are in a positive. Will be added. Okay, and your expenses, so the balance will be added to your treasury at the end of your every month. You can manipulate the different sliders in this panel to modify your monthly balance. As we just saw, the difference between your monthly income and expenses is also displayed at the top bar. Most of the wealth in Europa Universalis V is generated on a monthly basis in the land you own, your locations. We'll talk about locations later. For now, you can hover over the tax base number on the top left corner to see a disclosure of your richest locations. Okay, right here, 16.04. That is where the ducats are being generated in the Kingdom of Norway. However, those ducats do not go directly into your treasury. As the government, you can only collect a fraction of the tax base by exacting taxes from your estates. You can set the level of taxation by adjusting the tax sliders in the budget panel. Notice how their estate satisfaction drops the more you tax them. Of course, higher taxes is obviously, well, that will decrease the satisfaction of people. Estates do not like taxes. I mean, who does like taxes? The maximum tax that you can set for each estate depends on many factors, like how powerful they are. Sometimes you might not be able to tax a specific estate at all. For now, we recommend you automate your taxes by clicking on the cog icon. That will tax them the just amount to keep their satisfaction over 50% as soon as you unpause the game. Let's do every single thing automatic. Aside from taxes, another significant source of income is minting. You can freely mint to your heart's content to fix your budget, but minting too much will create inflation. Inflation, oh lord. You can learn more about inflation in the inflation hint. I think I already know about inflation. Inflation simply increases all expenses for our country, so it should always be avoided. It grows fairly quickly from minting, but it can be deceptively difficult to reduce. Okay, move the minting sliders to mint some shiny ducat. Just a little bit. The other two most common sources of income are trade and food. Since those are more advanced concepts, we will not cover them for now. You can learn more about them whenever you feel prepared in their respective hints. Alright. Let us unpause for a bit before looking at the expenses. You can adjust the speed at which the game runs from the top bar. Speeds 3 or 4 are a good pace to start, but every player has their own preference. You can also press space to pause and unpause the game at any moment. Okay, so... how do I do this? Okay. Four. A month is passing by in literally a few seconds. That is interesting. Good. 1 month has passed and we will have paused the game for you. You can see that the numbers have updated and your estates are contributing their due taxes. Many calculations in this game happen at the end of a month. Let us have a look at the expenses for now. Many actions in this game cost ducats the very moment you perform them. But even when you're not actively spending your ducats, your balance has to bear the burden of regular monthly expenses. You can spend ducats on increasing stability and legitimacy, two of your most important stats that we saw at the top bar. We recommend you spend at least enough so they do not decrease. The maintenance cost of your standing armies, navies, and active fortifications can become a significant hindrance to your balance. Reducing their maintenance during peacetime is a sensible idea. Perfect, you have understood the basics of balance management. Let us recap a bit. Income and expenses are calculated at the end of the month. Ducats are generated in your locations and collected by your estates, which you tax in order to fuel your treasury. Estates do not particularly enjoy being taxed. But who are these estates, are you asking? Why do they not submit to your every whim? The estates are one of the keystones of ruling in Europa Universalis V. Not only are they the source of taxes, but they can also be powerful assets when they are loyal or terrible when enemies, or terrible enemies when disloyal. And let us have a closer look at them in the government panel. Good lord, what is this? Here you can see the different groups that control the political power in your country, the estates. Each estate has a percentage of estate power. As the embodiment of the nation, you're represented by the crown. Your crown power represents your ability to oppose particular interests of your estates. Namely, it allows you to exact higher taxes. It increases estate satisfaction and your support in the parliament. It makes changing laws easier and it provides a percentage of the profits of trade. Your estates can be powerful assets when managed correctly, but if displeased can quickly turn into an insidious thorn in your back. On top of contributing to your treasury with taxes, estates are essential to the business of war, since you will depend on their levies to fight your wars until you can afford to replace them with regular regiments. However, if they are disloyal, they might start supporting rebellions against your power, potentially overthrowing your rule through a civil war. Finally, estates whose satisfaction is above 50% will provide different bonuses to your country depending on their type, while dissatisfied estates will inflict penalties. Estates can be granted privileges, which usually increase both their estate satisfaction and the state power, and come with additional effects for your country and your people. Revoking privileges will both anger and weaken the target estate, although that can be a costly endeavor that will likely ruin your stability. Despite them increasing the power of the estates, and thus reducing your crown power, some privileges might align with your interests. Granting a few privileges in time of need can be a wise course of action needed, if only to extinguish a spark of rebellion. No king can rule alone. Aside from privileges, estates derive their estate power primarily from the social makeup of your population. Your population is divided into different social classes, each of which supports a different estate. The nobility are supported by nobles, the clergy are supported by clerics, the burghers are supported by burghers, the commoners are supported by peasants, laborers, and soldiers. Your population lives and dies in your locations, that is on the map, so let us have a look at them. The world of Europa Universalis V is made of different countries that own locations on the map, from where they extract the resources and manpower they need to stay ahead of their neighbors. If you zoom out, you will see the country's names appear on the map. Hovering over them will show you the country tooltip, and clicking on them will open the foreign country panel, where you can learn about and interact with each country, or with the country. Let's do this. Poland. Countries are nothing without countries are nothing without locations. Locations are the heart of the economy and the politics of any country in Europa Universalis V. They produce goods and generate tax base, but they are also home to population of different social classes, religions and cultures. Locations can have 3 different location rank: city, town, and rural settlement. Okay, that is a lot. Different locations, ranks, have different social classes, buildings, and modifiers. Zoom into the location. Interesting. Lüneburg. The most important location for any country is the capital. Your capital is Oslo. Haha, Oslo. You will recognize it on the map by the golden star inside its location rank icon. You can double click on your flag in the top bar to move the camera to your capital. You can double click on your flag on the top. Okay. Here. Nice. You can also find any location by pressing F to open the finder and typing the name. Okay, let's do this. Before looking at Oslo, let us stop for a moment to have a look at control groups. They live at the bottom of your screen and serve as quick ways to access a variety of things in the game world. You can assign locations, countries, markets, or armies and more to a specific number key. Let us try it by assigning your capital Oslo. With the Oslo panel opened, press Ctrl 1 to assign it to a new control group. Alright, here we go. Good job. Now pressing the assigned number will pan the camera to Oslo and open its panel. Yes, to empty a control group, you can either right click it or press Ctrl and the corresponding control key. Okay, I see. Let us have a look at the location panel now. Any location is populated by different social classes. As we just saw, pops will increase the estate power of their respective estate. The amount of pops of each social class depends mainly on the buildings present in the location. Or present. Buildings can be built by you or your estates, and they need to employ a specific social class in order to function. When a building is built, peasants will promote to the necessary social class to fill them. Some buildings produce goods, which sold in the market generate a tax base of the location. Not all locations have buildings at the beginning of the game, but every location specializes in producing one specific good in the resource gathering operations, or RJO. That is a special type of building that employs laborers to produce raw goods. Very much like buildings, RGOs sell their goods in the market of the location to generate tax base at the beginning of the game. Most of your tax base will come from the production of RGO. As we have seen, the added profits of buildings and RGO constitute the tax base of a location. The tax base is then collected by the estates according to their presence in the location. Remember that you only end up receiving a fraction of those ducats in the form of taxes. Interesting. For instance, the total tax base in Oslo adds up to 4.91, of which you tax 1.14 from your estates. Click on Oslo, hover over the tax base to see how it is being distributed among the estates. Interesting, so we can see tax base share and everything, okay. Let us recap. Buildings in RGO in your locations employ POPs to create tax base. The tax base is divided among your estates, who in turn provide you with taxes and levies. Control. However, not all locations are equal under the sun. Let us discuss one of the most important stats of a location, control. Among other things, control determines the amount of wealth in a location that is actually usable by you or your estates. In other words, the tax base of a location is scaled by the percentage of control you have over it. The control of a location is directly dependent on its proximity to your capital. That is why your capital is one of the most important locations. It will always have high control. That means that buildings in RGO in your capital will always contribute the most of the wealth of your estates in your country. You can learn more about proximity and control here. Oh my lord. Let us take a moment now to see map modes. They are different lenses through which you can see various aspects of the world represented on the map. If you hover over the control tooltip in the location panel, you will see the map mode button at the top right of the tooltip. When you click it, the map mode will change to show the control in all your locations. Okay. Interesting. You are seeing now on the map the distribution of control across your land. Notice how control tends to decrease the further locations are from the capital. Due to control locations in the periphery of your domains will not be nearly as useful, at least without the proper infrastructure in place. While on this map mode, you can also click on other countries to see their control displayed on their map. Sweden, Stockholm. Now let us have a look at the proximity map mode. You can access it from the proximity tooltip, similar to what you did for control. Hover over the proximity tooltip. Uppsala. The proximity map mode shows how far away locations are from your capital in practical terms. You may notice how proximity spreads through along the plains and the rivers, and it is severely hampered by mountain ranges or forests. Indeed, topography and vegetation play a very important role in the calculation of proximity, and so does the presence of human-made infrastructure like roads or ports. Clicking on different locations found on this map mode will show the path they're using to reach the capital. There are dozens of different map modes in this game that can be used to display all sorts of data. For instance, you might be interested in the various markets around the world, or the distribution of population within your country. You can access all the map modes by hovering over the widget at the bottom of your screen and selecting a specific map mode. Feel free to explore, but do not feel like they need to get acquainted with all of them right away. Remember to go back to the default map mode by pressing Ctrl Q or selecting it from the map mode panel. Okay. Interesting. So we have said that you need proximity to have control, but how do you improve your proximity? There are multiple different ways, but one of the most important ones is building roads. Roads improve the connection between two locations, reducing the proximity lost for all locations that use that path to reach the capital. Let us build a road from Oslo. Notice it will cost you ducats. Okay, so Oslo 1. Our Chancellor reports rivalry declared. The wild Kingdom of Scania have declared us as their rival. They will be our eternal enemies. Okay, click on the road builder. Click on any neighboring location. Maybe here. Next. Bravo, the road is now under construction. It will take some months to finish. You can see the construction progress in the circular widget on the map. Where? Over your capital, right there. Once it finishes, proximity in the target location will improve accordingly, and you will see its control rise. The construction of buildings, RGO, and regiments works very similarly. They cost ducats, require some goods from the market, and take some time to complete. Proximity and control are among the most important mechanics to master in Europa Universalis V. Your crown power, tax base, and the size of your levies will directly depend on the control you have over your locations, which in turn depends on your proximity from your capital. This means that laying out roads from the capital is paramount to all countries, big and small. Aside from roads, proximity can also propagate by sea, of course, although doing so efficiently requires good harbor capacity and maritime presence. Outliner. Before we finish, let us go over a couple of extra UI elements that you need to know, starting with the outliner. The outliner offers an overview of what is going on in your country. For instance, you can see the road you just built, here, under the construction group, of course. 154 days. The contents of the outliner are highly customizable. Much like control groups, you can pin a large variety of things to the outliner, such as countries, markets, or armies. To do this, you can utilize the context menu, which can be accessed by right-clicking a location or country in the map. Right-click somewhere on the map, then look for the star icon. Let's do Stockholm. Kingdom of Sweden. Nice. Nicely done. We'll be able to access everything you have pinned on the right side of the screen. We're almost at the end of this introduction. To help you focus on the part of the game you are most interested in, we have automated some features according to the playstyle you picked. You can control what aspects of the game are automated at any time from the automation panel. Let's see here. That is right here. From inside this panel, you can control which aspects of your country the game will manage for you. For now, we recommend you stick to what has been set and go back to this panel when you feel comfortable with the basic features. Optionally, you could decide whether you want to automate your advances and your cabinet or leave them manual. You can learn more about those features in the respective hints if you decide to manually interact with them. Another important element you will be using during your campaigns is the alerts. They will appear underneath the top bar and inform you of a variety of matters that will eventually need your attention. Sorted by the level of urgency from most urgent red to less urgent green. Note that you will not get alerts related to parts of the game you have automated. Most alerts have a related hint that helps you address it. You can shift click on alert to open the corresponding hint. Agenda. Lastly, we recommend you have a look at the agenda at the beginning of every game, where you will find a little bit of historical context for your country, and a collection of those hints most relevant to your current situation. Okay. We're now at the end of the basic walkthrough. We advise you to proceed by embarking on a mission path of your choosing. Depending on your selected playstyle, missions will offer you different goals and rewards to guide through your initial steps in Europa Universalis V. When selecting a mission focus, you will first receive a brief explanation that will expand your knowledge on that part of the game experience. Good luck, and may your nation prosper through the tides of time. Okay. Wow, this is Europa. Government panel missions. Pick a mission focus. Start politics playthrough. We're now starting the politics playthrough. We will delve a bit deeper into the complexities of your society, your government, and your foreign policy. Let us start with the foundation of any country, the population. We already had a glimpse at the pops living in your capital during the introduction. Now we're going to dive deep into the society panel. Okay. So then, people, pops. From here you can see the detailed breakdown of pops containing information like their literacy, employment, pop satisfaction, and culture. In this panel you can view and access the more people-oriented aspects of your country. The population entry in the top bar shows you how many people currently live in your country, as well as how much that value fluctuates month over month. Your population is divided into pops, groups of people of the same culture, religion, and social class living in the same location. As we already saw, every social class supports one specific estate. On top of that, pops have a level of literacy, a level of pop satisfaction, and both food and pop needs that they will demand from their market. The satisfaction of your pops depends on various factors, like how well regarded their culture and religion are within your country, and also on the estate satisfaction of their respective estates. When the satisfaction of a pop drops too low, they will seek to support a rebellion. We mentioned every pop belongs to a specific culture. Let us check out the culture tab. Let's see here. Typically, your country will be home to several cultures. Every country has a primary culture, with all other cultures possessing a different cultural status. Pops belonging to a culture with low culture status will generally have much lower pop satisfaction and will contribute fewer levies. You can increase the culture status of cultures within your realm by allocating cultural capacity. Lastly, pops in your country will assimilate to your primary culture based on different factors. Will assimilate into our culture, yes. The most important of which being the difference between the culture influence of your primary culture and the cultural tradition of theirs. One of the most important tools at your disposal to increase the cultural influence of your primary culture are works of art. Let us check out the works of art tab next. Head over to the highlighted sub-tab. Okay. Works of art are artifacts created by artists in your country, hopefully not an artist from Austria. For instance, a painter, again, might produce a painting, or a writer might create a novel. When a work of art is created, an amount of cultural influence will be granted to your primary culture. Once created, it will continue to provide you with benefits to the cultural tradition of your primary culture, as well as a monthly bonus to your prestige based on its art quality. Prestige is another one of the stats you can track on the top bar, and provides a measure of your country's culture presence on the world stage. Among other things, a high level of prestige will help you with diplomacy and integration. Integrate into our society. Religion-based culture. Besides culture, the other defining trait of pops is the religion. Let us see the religion tab next. In this tab, you can view your primary religion, as well as other religions present in your country. You can spend religious influence to interact with your religion in a variety of ways depending on the specific faith of your country. Similar to culture, all religions in a country also have an associated religious status. Some mostly Christian. Let us take a peek at characters next. Head over to the Characters tab. We have Axel Johansen. Tjenare, how are you? In the course of your game, you will need to interact with a number of different characters, individuals of prominence whom you can employ for various roles. In this tab, you can see a list of all characters present in your court and their current role. Characters have abilities that will determine their efficiency at performing the different roles. Administrative ability, diplomatic ability, military ability. On top of the free base abilities, characters may develop specific traits that make them better at a specific task. Characters also belong to an estate, and some will belong to a renowned dynasty. We already seen the use of artists in your court, but your most important character by far will be your ruler. Let us visit the government panel again in order to glance into the noble art of governance. And this is your ruler, your most important character. The abilities of your ruler have a significant impact on your country. You can check their effects by hovering over them. In this overview, you can also see your consort, heir, and regent, if you have any of those roles. Speaking of important characters, let us discuss one of the most powerful tools you have to rule your country, your cabinet. Head over to the highlighted cabinet sub-tab. This is your cabinet. It consists of several cabinet seats, which can be filled by characters who will serve as cabinet members. You can task your cabinet members with a variety of cabinet actions, such as increase province control or develop province. Cabinet actions rely on one of the three abilities. The abilities of your ruler and the cabinet member assigned to carry out the action will influence the impact of the action. For instance, an action like change societal values will progress faster if the diplomatic ability of the cabinet member assigned to it is high. The overall cabinet efficiency of your country will also affect the speed and efficiency of your action. Every country is different in Europa Universalis V. The nature of your country politics will depend first and foremost on your government type. As a monarchy, the functioning of your country already differs from some of your neighbors in very key aspects. On top of that, the nature and political structure of any country is highly dependent on the setup of its government reforms, privileges and laws. Modifying any of these or of those three usually comes with great stability costs. Let us see where they are, starting with the already familiar Estates sub-tab. Your government reforms are one of the most defining features of your country. They often have very impactful effects, so setting them up should be one of the very first things you do when starting a new game. We have already discussed privileges when we talked about estates. On top of their effects on estate satisfaction and estate power, privileges can also have very fundamental consequences on how your country is played, often enabling new possibilities or putting limits to your freedom of action. Lastly, every country starts with a different set of laws. Move over to the Law sub-tab in the Country tab. Laws exist in several categories and allow you to modify your country. Every law contains a number of possible policies to choose from. For instance, you might choose to have no censorship as the active policy for the censorship law. This will have a variety of effects, some negative and some positive. How fast you can change a policy depends on your legislative efficiency. No censorship. Free thinking is uncontroversial and encouraged. Artists are more likely to settle and remain in a country where they can freely express themselves, with the exception of zealous thinkers who oppose such liberties. Laws can be changed at any time for a cost in both ducats and stability, but it is usually wiser to wait for a parliament session. Now you can enact government reforms, laws and privileges in your country at will, so long as you can assume the stability cost. But some things do not change overnight, and societies are insidiously slow to adapt to new legislation. To represent the more structural idiosyncrasies of your country and people, we have societal values. Let us have a look at them. The societal values of a country represent the deeper customs of its population, the secular inertia of its institutions, and their imprint on the character of their inhabitants. They change slowly, over time, adapting to the nature of the laws. Reforms, privileges, laws, and specific actions you take during your ruling will cause the different societal values to slowly drift towards a terret value. Crown power. Leveraging the power of the crown against the other estates is one of the cornerstones of ruling in Europa Universalis V. Your crown power depends mainly on the average control of all your locations, and it is reduced by the privileges of your estates. Many government reforms, laws, and societal values affect it as well. Keeping crown power high is extremely important. Not only does it increase cabinet efficiency and your own support during parliament, but it also determines the percentage of trade income that flows directly into your treasury. But not all politics happen inside our realm. Let us cover diplomacy next, starting with the Relations tab in the Diplomacy panel. Open the Diplomacy panel, open the Relations panel. No matter how powerful you grow, you will need to engage in diplomacy if you want to survive through the ages, as you will need to sign alliances to protect against your enemies or negotiate for peace after a long war. Two things to consider here. You will need to spend diplomats to perform diplomatic action with other countries, like improve relations, fabricate spy networks, or declare wars. You can see your current diplomats at the top bar. Having diplomatic treaties with other countries, like an alliance or a subject, will take up an amount of diplomatic capacity. You can increase your available diplomatic capacity by spending ducats from the budget panel. Your current relations sub-tab contains information about all the treaties you have signed with other countries, as well as the international organizations you belong to. If you have subjects, you will be able to manage them from this panel. Let's see here. Next, let us check out the countries known to you. From this sub-tab, you can see the countries you have discovered. By default, it will be filtered so you only see countries within your diplomatic range. This is also a good place to view your great power score. If your great power score is among the highest in the world, you are considered a great power, which will allow you to exert more influence over your neighbors. Let us check out international organizations. From here you can view all the international organizations in the world. Among them are organizations like the Holy Roman Empire, the Catholic Church, or personal unions. Which actions are available to you within the international organizations you are part of depends on the organization itself, as well as any special status you may hold within it. Let us take a moment to talk about foreign countries. Go ahead and click on a country on the map to open the panel. Kingdom of Hungary. From here you can see an overview of a foreign country, including its ruler. The Diplomacy tab resembles the current relations section we discussed earlier. and shows things like allies, rivals, and subjects. For now, let us take a look at the highlighted diplomacy card, which holds buttons for quick access to common diplomatic actions such as improving opinion or currying favors. In addition to the common diplomatic actions accessible through the diplomacy card, you can also click the name of the country to go to the Actions tab of the Diplomacy panel, with the specific country you are currently viewing already pre-selected. From the Diplomatic Actions tab, we can take a variety of different diplomatic actions. Since we navigated here by selecting a country on the map, that specific country is already pre-selected as a target for the action. There are many different diplomatic actions you can take, some of which are only accessible in certain circumstances. If you want to deal with other countries peacefully, there are 3 things you should be concerned about: opinion, trust, and favors. For now, let us try using the Improve Relations action. Good job! Once you confirm your diplomatic action, your diplomats will travel to the country in question and start with the action selected. The Improve Relation action does not have an immediate effect, instead slowly increasing opinion over the course of months and years. The same is true of many other diplomatic actions. So, okay, we can do that. Improve Opinion, monthly diplomats minus 0.05. This will improve their opinion of us by 100% and reduce their antagonism towards us by 100% over time. Lastly, let us check out missions. Open the Government tab, open the Missions tab. Politics. Missions are packages of tasks that will give some guidance on what exactly it is you can do in Europa Universalis V. This game is big and there are many things to learn. That is part of the fun. You just completed the politics playstyle intro, which means you now have access to missions that will help you deep dive into how you can utilize all these panels and mechanics we just talked about. To help ease you into what comes next, we have a few missions prepared to get you started. Okay, let's start mission. We gain High Era for 5 years. Start the Capable Cabinet mission. The delegation of adversary seats is pivotal towards the proper administration of our lands. Completion criteria. Our cabinet is efficient as well as manned by capable individuals. Wrapping up. Nice, you have a few missions that are accessible to you within the missions tab. Once you finish all missions for your playstyle, you will be prompted to take a walkthrough similar to this one for another playstyle. Good luck out there. Let us go. We have ordered our diplomat to establish an embassy in Hungary with the goal of improving our relations. Oh lord, okay. Yes, we are ready. Yes, we are ready. Now then. We shall. We shall expand here. So building this will take a few months. Other than that, the Wow Kingdom of Denmark have declared us as their rival. They will be our eternal enemies. What the hell? That is interesting. Okay, Kingdom of Sweden. We are a fair bit weaker than them. So, should we research something? Let's see here. Organized religion. Possible clerics in towns and cities, plus 50. Max illiteracy for clergy, plus 5%. Okay, let's add that. Our income is great. The 100 Years' War. In the year of 1337, tensions between the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of France have reached a breaking point. The long-standing disputes over territory and claims to the French throne have erupted into open hostilities, marking the beginning of the 100 Years' War. What? Both nations are now preparing for a protracted conflict that will shape the destiny of Western Europe. The world watches as these two great powers prepare for their inevitable clash on the battlefield. Inevitable. Wait, what? Well, the 100 Years' War was a long and brutal conflict between England and France that lasted from 1337 to 1453. It started when the English king claimed the French crown, arguing his right through his mother's bloodline, while the French rejected this under their own laws. Both sides already had overlapping territories in France, which only fueled the fire. What followed was a prolonged, on and off war filled with battles, betrayals, and shifting alliances that dragged on for over a century and shifted the geopolitical landscape of all of Western Europe forever. Interesting. I hope this will hopefully be over quickly. 100 years is quick. Am I gonna learn more about Europe in this game than ever? Interesting. Can I change the game speed? What is the keybind for that actually? Speed. What is this? Wait. Ah, it's okay. It's the numpad, I guess. So, I need to take care of a few tasks. Building missing input. Buildings are missing input goods in the following markets. Let's see here. Select. Ah, wait. I can import tar. Okay, I think I'll take care of this. So, I can import the tar from Stockholm. How do I do this? Import. Market balance is minus 0.25 due to demand and supply, so we need to import some. Import tar to Oslo market from... Or will this be automatic? Ah, I think it's automatic, okay. Then what is next? What in the world? Pops with needs. Pops are missing goods in the following markets. Let's see here. What else? Unprofitable buildings. Okay, well. I guess, what should we work on? This research is... The research? Alright, the research here... Is it working? I think it's working. Let's see here, what else? Military. We have an army, we have navies. Interesting. Okay. Guess I just need to learn the game, huh? Except this might be one of the most complicated games I've played. So, but step by step, huh? What is... Just maybe construct a road. Let that go. Let's see here. I can expand upon tar kilns. Let's see here. Tar kiln in Strömstad. So... Okay, I need more balance of fine cloth. Our steward reports we have gained cores. Varanger and Kirkenes is now part of our patron... wait. Varanger and Kirkenes is now a part of our patrimony. We shall defend them to the last drop of peasant blood. Looks like it worked. Look, we now have... Market balance is stable. So I just clicked a few buttons. Maybe I should construct... I could automate my building construction. I'm clicking on it, but nothing is happening. Oh well. Let me build in Oslo. Level 0 tailor skill in Oslo. That should do something. And then Jeweler's Guild in Oslo. Why not? I have a bunch of gold of Norway. Oh, now it changed. Interesting. So... Pops needs... Do I need to take care of this? Oh well, the roads here will almost be done. That should be good. What else can we do? So we have our balance. Looks like it's alright for now. Income is good. What is this? Wayward weather. What the hell? Weather systems are currently affecting our country. Cyclone in northeastern Atlantic. Cyclone currently centered in northeastern Atlantic, heading towards Tórshavn. That's the capital of Faroe Islands. The overall strength has been steadily increasing and it is now a catastrophic hurricane. Wow, what in the world? Can we build a road from the Faroe Islands? From where we are to... Yeah, it's too far away. Interesting. We have 3 more countries as our rivals. Ah, so we are constructing this market here. Let's speed up the game a bit. Construct. We have gained a core. The location of Alta is now considered a part of our patrimony. We shall defend it to the last drop of peasant blood. Alta. Interesting. That is in the middle of nowhere. Sweden has Finland. What is this part of? Agrarian communities. In these times of rapid change, our traditional ways have led to a revival of the agrarian community. While perhaps not as productive as bustling urban centers, they provide a level of sustainability and societal cohesion that cannot be otherwise gained without a great deal of time and effort. Perhaps we ought to encourage this revival to further reap the benefits of our traditionalist economies. Let's encourage the revival. We will gain 7 stability. We gain increased rural attraction for 2 years. We change societal values by +5 towards traditional economy. Currently 90 towards traditional economy and changing +0.16 every month towards traditional economy. We change societal values by +2 towards communalism. Currently 20 towards communism and changing +0.15 per month towards communism. And Tromsø gain bountiful harvest for 2 years. Ooh, bountiful harvest? Why not? Nice. We are Europing. We are the Europe. It's currently winter, December. Livestock. We have some cows. Hello, cowies. Let's see here. So now we're just constructing. More roads are being constructed upon. We've got requirements in the Oslo market. Let's see here. Inefficient minting. Our minting efficiency is only 50% due to lack of access to needed goods, and it is decreasing the amount of money we get from minting. So, what exactly do I do? Do I increase it? Interesting. So what happens if I were to increase it? RGO's missing employees. Interesting. Incompetent ruler. Our current ruler, King Magnus IV of Bjelbo, has remarkably low ability. How do I change that? Interesting. Rivalry declared. The vile Kingdom of Scotland have declared us as their rival. They will be our eternal enemies. No, but we have missions, not started economy mission trees. Okay, let's do this. We are starting now the economy walkthrough. We are going to dive a bit deeper into the economy of Europa Universalis V, starting with its foundation, the markets. Open the economy panel. Open the markets tab. Here you can see the list of markets where your country is present. While on the map you can see all the markets in the known world. Every location belongs to a market where they sell the goods they produce and buy the goods they need. Many things in this game require goods. Pops need gods, or not gods, pops need goods to live. Constructions need goods to progress. Buildings need goods to function. Armies need goods to fight. For instance, you can see on the map that your capital Oslo belongs to the Oslo market, yes? So anything you build in there will use goods from that market. The production of all locations is sold every month to the market stockpile, providing them with tax base. Conversely, all locations try to buy the goods they need from their market, by order of their market access. The difference between the supply and the demand of a good in a market will influence its market price. Note that markets transcend country borders. The production of your locations always goes directly to the respective market. So foreign locations in the same market might be buying those goods before your own locations, if they have higher market access. The market access of a location depends on its distance from the market center, and like proximity, you can improve it with roads. Locations will generally tend to belong to the closest market. That is, the one where they have higher market access. Now, markets are never completely isolated from each other. The moving of goods between two markets is called trade. Countries can move goods between markets by using their trade capacity, creating a profit or a loss in the process. On top of that, burghers living in a market will conduct trade of their own. By default, trade is automated in all markets, which means any trade capacity you possess in that market will be used up automatically on the best deals possible. We recommend you leave all trade automated until you have more experience with the game. When the time comes, you can learn more about trade here. Finally, POPs also produce and consume food. Food is produced mainly by the laborers working in RGO with food raw materials, like wheat, although peasants working on subsistence agriculture also contribute a small amount. Every market has a food stockpile, which increases or decreases monthly. If a market runs out of food, the population will suffer starvation. You can see the food balance of a market in the market card. Let us continue by exploring goods. To do this, you can click the Pop Needs button in the market card. Here you can see all the goods in a specific market. Since the Pop Needs filter is already applied, you are currently seeing the market balance of all the goods your POPs need. You can increase the supply of any given good in a market in 3 ways. Expanding RGO. RGO can be expanded to produce raw goods, if you own the appropriate locations. Constructing buildings. Although some of them can also produce raw goods, buildings excel at refining raw goods into produced goods. Importing it via trade. You can always import the goods you need from other markets, if you have the trade capacity available. For instance, you might create an RGO to collect wool, then construct a spinner's guild, building to refine that wool into cloth, which is used by many other buildings, POPs and armies. Let us finally talk about buildings. Let us go see the whole list of buildings in the building tab. Unlike RGO, all buildings need some input, goods to function, but only some produce goods and therefore tax base. Other buildings have different purposes, such as providing manpower, enabling the recruitment of regulars, improving your crown power, or increasing control of their location. Buildings, just like RGO, have a construction cost and take some measure of in-game time to build. Once done, to be able to function, a building requires a supply of raw goods to be present in the market it was built in. Remember, your country could have more than one market. The market card at the top of the production panel allows you to filter its contents on a market basis. Lastly, let us check out the missions. Let's see here. Nice, you have a few missions that are accessible to you within the missions tab. Once you finish all missions for your playstyle, you'll be prompted to take a walkthrough similar to this one for another playstyle. Good luck out there. Let us go. Interesting. Interesting. So... at least 2 cabinet members. I need 2 cabinet members. Government cabinet. I can appoint someone. Axel and Johansen 33. You can take this spot. Axel and Johansen has been assigned to a cabinet position in our monarchy. We expect to see our country greatly benefit from this. And then this guy. Nice, alright. Show character information. What a young lad. Anyhow. Let's see here. So that is done. Now we need 2 cabinet actions. Appoint the character with the highest related ability to the empty cabinet seat. Hire a new courtier if we do not have good characters available. Let's see here. Cabinet action. Wait, where was the other one? Let's see here. It was... cabinet actions. I need to see this. Cabinet action. Ah, so I need to have them do something. I understand now. Go into here, cabinet. Then I need an action. Let's see here. Change societal values. I mean, do we need that? Let's see here. We could do literally anything, but... okay, maybe I'll just do the first one. There's a bunch of things here. Holy. What is all of this? Maybe a centralization. When centralization is dominant, it scales up. The crown power plus 50%, maximum war exhaustion plus 3, but proximity cost minus 10%. Counter espionage plus 30%. A centralized country may be more efficient, while a decentralized country is more resilient. Oh. Okay, misclick. I wanted to read that one. I guess we're doing decentralized. I can change it, huh? Then you can do... develop province. Maybe we should do... maybe we should do the one with the most population. Develop Bragenhus. This is the best way to increase development in the selected province. This is probably what you want to do when you have nothing currently urgent to do. Interesting. So now what do we do? Next mission. I already did the learning playthrough, huh? Oh, okay. Nice, we've got that. Meritocratic approach. I also need to look into the expansion mission trees. Let's do this. Next, we will take a look at expansion walkthrough. To start off, let us take a look at the military panel. In here, you will see an overview of your armies. In the event of a war, armies can be moved across the map to engage enemy armies and occupy enemy locations. Armies are composed of regiments of 3 different types. Levies are raised from your population through your estates and are generally weak, but cheap to maintain. Regulars are professional soldiers that you need to pay and train and require manpower. Mercenaries can be hired with ducats to die for your country, as long as you keep paying. At the start of the game, most countries will primarily rely on levies from their estates to wage their wars. But as time progresses and advances are made, there will be a shift to professional regiments which require manpower. Navies are the naval equivalent to armies and follow a similar pattern, with naval levies and professional ships requiring sailors. We should take a moment to talk about manpower. As we mentioned, regular regiments require manpower to be recruited, but also to be reinforced if they ever suffer casualties. Manpower comes from military buildings that employ soldier pops. Early on, you can generate manpower by constructing a sergantry building through the production panel, but you will gain access to more sources as you discover new advances. Now that we have covered armies and navies, we should talk more generally about war and casus belli. A war starts when a country issues a declaration of war upon another one. A war can be declared for a legitimate reason, known as casus belli. What is that? Literally meaning cause for war, which will make the peace negotiations easier for you. Going to war without a casus belli is still very possible, but will have bigger impact on your stability and the opinion of your neighbors. The best way to obtain a casus belli is requesting one from your parliament through the government panel. Creating spy networks in a foreign country will allow you to fabricate a casus belli against them. If you have cores in their land, or if you are rivals. When declaring a war, keep in mind that your enemies, allies and subjects will likely enter their side. Every war is won through the accumulation of war score, which can be gained by winning battles, managing to occupy enemy locations, and most importantly by achieving the war goal. Every war is fought with a war goal, which depends on the casus belli of the attacker. A war has 2 war leaders, both of which can have multiple war allies. Ultimately, a war will end once both sides agree to a peace treaty. While you can occupy enemy territories during the course of a war, they will not actually change hands until the war is over, and a peace treaty has ratified the transfer of ownership. While at war, you will accumulate war exhaustion. If it gets high enough, your armies and levies will do worse in battle, and your population will start to decline. The best way to lower your war exhaustion is to be at peace, of course. That said, there are certain laws and estate privileges that will reduce war exhaustion over time. The new land you conquer will not be useful to you immediately. Remember, you need control for your locations to be of any use, and that might require significant investment in infrastructure to extend the reach of your proximity. Furthermore, conquered land will suffer heavy penalties until you integrate it with a cabinet action. For this reasons, it is often wise to create a subject in newly conquered land to rule the land on your behalf, or in your behalf. Lastly, we should take a look at the geopolitics panel for some words on another feature that might become relevant later in future ages: exploration and colonization. Eventually, and especially during the Age of Discovery, many countries will start their exploration efforts. From this panel, you can see an overview of your exploration opportunities, as well as any suitable land for colonization, provided you have the means to reach it. You will gain colonial range if you research the appropriate advances. The other tab of this panel also contains useful information about the land you rule. You can view the various provinces within your country, as well as the diseases present in the world. If you own any coastal locations, you will see a list of Z-zones relevant to you, the maritime presence you have in them, and the danger of pirates and privateers. Lastly, let us check out the missions. Nice, now you have a few missions that are accessible to you within the missions tab. Once you finish all missions for your playstyle, you'll be prompted to take a walkthrough similar to this one for another playstyle. Okay, so yes, we have to do all of this, huh? Okay. So we need to... Okay, so these are the missions we need to do. Interesting. Well. Let's try to do our missions. Develop a capital economy. Select target market. At least one of these, all of these. Burgers is greater or equal to 6. I need to follow this. I need to grant a new privilege. So government panel estates. I can add estate privileges to there. Building rights, why not? Developing our urban and rural areas is certainly a costly endeavor. By employing the established populace living in them to fund part of our construction efforts, we will reduce the end cost for many of our development plans. However, signing off on such a legislative move will increase their influence considerably. We have been gracious enough to grant building rights to the burghers, which has the following impact on our country. Nice, okay. More missions. Task fulfilled. Oh, we're actually progressing. Establish a trade. For our economy to grow, we require an established trading network. Any kind of import or export will suffice for our merchants to gain the needed experiences for future enterprises. I'll select Oslo. Nice. Grow the burgers. I'm gonna call them burgers. There's a greater or equal to 2,100... How do I pronounce it? Google? How do I pronounce? Well, it's literally burgers. Alright, the burgers. I need to click on the burgers. Start the construction of the burgers building. Let's see here. Need to go into missions here. Let's see here. Go to the location you chose for the mission. Was it right here? Burgers. Let's see here. Where would I find you? How would I grow you? Building rights? Was it building rights? Let's see here. Let's see here. Where would I do that? Burgers. Am I confused? I chose Oslo, didn't I? Let's see here. Click on the burgers button to the left of the panel. Wait. I chose Oslo. Let's see here. Oslo, yes. So, burgers, where can I see them? I don't see them in this panel. Oh no, here we go. So how would I do this? We have 1900 of them. How would I build stuff for the burgers? Burgers. Let's see here. Burgers. Left of the panel. Wait, demography? Wait. Is it over here? Where can I see this? Let's see here. Okay, maybe I should resume the game. Let's see here. We'll have to get back to that later. A new outbreak. The people of Oslo despair as their families and neighbors succumb to the relentless outbreak of smallpox currently spreading throughout the area. Neighborhoods, once bustling with activity, now echo with worry and uncertainty. Unfortunately, there is little we can do to stop the spread of the disease into our territory. This is obviously not good. Prosperity in Oslo decreases by 30%. Goddamn rats. Build disease-resistant buildings. Wait, where was it? I clicked away from it. Oh well. Let's try another mission. Let's see here. Let's see here. Click on the... wait. I need to click here and then burgers. Let's see here. Okay, well, let us just continue. Let us continue. Let's see here. I want to get missions. Why don't we do regional expansion? Can declare war on Sweden. Ah, so we're currently on that mission. So we need to wait. Wait a second. Okay, let's just see how it goes. Let's see here. Do we need to build more for this? More of that? Oh well, let's just expand. More weather warnings. Advanced research. We have now researched organized religion, which gives us the following benefits. Possible clerics in towns and cities plus 50. Max literacy for clergy plus 5%. Religion plays a major role in every society, yet not every faith has the same structure. An organized religion has its rituals and belief systems systematically arranged and follows defined doctrines. Well. Let's see here. Impertinent demands. The pressures we put on our vassals may seem reasonable in the capital, but some demands are seen as insults by the petty crowns we have taken under our protection. Negotiation of terms will take a little longer than anticipated. Can wait. We gain slow negotiations for 10 years. Okay. Let's see here. Wait, should I start the learning playthrough? Or is this the same one I've already done? I think it's the same one. Let's see here. Grow the burgers. So it's right here, huh? So I'm clicking it and the burgers. How do I build for them? What buildings can I build for you? I must be missing something. Wait, so... Oh, I need to build this? Brewery? How do I build a brewery? I need more money. I don't have money. Okay, then I guess I gotta wait. Need more money. Interesting. And to wait for more money. Let's see here. Everything looking good here. Age of Traditions. Interesting. We're barely growing our money. Oh, now it's going up. Should I just wait for the money? We're also constructing... Weaponsmith. Can I cancel that, or... Maybe we should just wait. Okay. Well, we're getting more money now, so... Guessing I should just construct a brewery then. So... Wait, it's growing now, 2036. But I will get one more brewery. Oh, I need to build disease-resistant buildings. Damn, we don't have that much money, do we? What? Can only build a mission in locations without owner. Okay, looks like we cannot build. Oh well. Some locations are losing their population drastically. Interesting. Yeah, now I have enough money for the brewery. Let's see. Grow the burgers. Need to grow them. We currently have 16 of stored research progress and cannot store any more of it. Any research progress is discarded. Consider spending the stored research on researching on advance. Institution growth. Based on Aristotelian logic and the writings of the early Christian fathers, Scholasticism aims at the spread of knowledge by emphasizing religious dogmatic beliefs and traditions. Okay. Let's research that. Corruption. Corruption is one of the most common and frequent factors of political and economic life in our kingdom. Several scandals over the past year have brought the issue to the fore. So much so that many influential populists are now calling for us to take action against this growing problem. Failing to do so could have dire consequences for our ability to govern our kingdom. Try to eradicate the problems or ignore them. Let's just lose 7 stability. Anyways, we're waiting for the brewery, so let's speed up the game. Speed up the game. Speed up the game. What do we have here? Mason, Bohemia. Interesting. All of these are countries. Interesting. Portugal. This is interesting to look at. Interesting. We have now researched classic scholasticism, which gives us the following benefits. Plus 20% institution growth. What could I research now? Let's see here. Everything has already been researched. No, not this. A guild is an association of merchants or craftsmen who have come together for mutual protection, aid, and for the pursuit of their own interests. Guilds establish monopolies of their goods and trade and set standards for the quality and price of their goods. Possible burghers in towns and cities plus 100. Max literacy for burghers plus 5%. Okay, good, because we need more burghers. We need more burghers. How many burgers are here? Plus 10. I guess, okay, we just need 63 more. Renewed focus on traditional practices. Our people, lost in a sea of change, have begun to call back to the practices of their ancestors. They seek to better harmonize rather than adapt their communities to the environment. They maintain long-held local traditions. grow a variety of non-cash crops, and explore medical practices that had been dismissed as nonsense by recent generations. And this renewed focus greatly strengthens our communities, but it also encourages decentralized governance and a sense of local independence. We ought to decide if letting the people stick to the ways of old is a benefit or a threat to the state. Let's push for economic modernization. We gain 2.50 research progress. The commoners in some of our rural locations will be displeased. Our merchants gain plus 25 trade advantage in Oslo market for 9 years. We gain societal values by plus 2 towards capital economy. Nice. Norway. We soon have the brewery. What is this? The cardinals in the Curia have come to a conclusion and have now enacted De Gratia Rex. It appears that Crown Prince Eric of Bjelbo, heir to Sweden, Scania, Norway, Iceland and Greenland, gained the intelligent trait. Okay. The child has shown to have an innate intelligence, which can be further developed. Interesting, the kid. The cardinals in the Curia have come to a conclusion and have now enacted De Gratia Rex. Catholicism gained De Gratia Rex for 10 years. Okay, we have enough burgers. So now we've done that, embracing the capital economy. This task will be completed on the 3rd of June 1342, so 1 year. Our state has lived off the ideals of traditional economy in the past. However, these methods are not sufficient for a prosperous future, and as such we shall embrace the modern ideas of capital economy. Okay. That is the next mission. And to wait a year. Just relax for 1 year. Resists urbanization. Have been met. Okay, it's cutting off. We have been met with considerable resistance. Local customs and leadership push back against reforms, wary of change and fearful that increased bureaucracy will erode their autonomy. While no open defiance has emerged, the slowdown is noticeable. Urban planners and administrators complain of obstruction, delays and lack of cooperation. This may be the first sign of deeper resistance to our urban-oriented policies. Some friction is expected. Our progress towards the capital economy's societal value will not be hindered. Scania. A new outbreak. The people of Tofte despair as their families and neighbors succumb to the relentless outbreak of influenza currently spreading throughout the area. Neighborhoods once bustling with activity now echo with worry and uncertainty. Unfortunately, there is little we can do to stop the spread of the disease into our territory. Curses! Prosperity in Tofte decreases by 30%. We have now researched guilds, which give us the following benefits. Nice. Let's keep on researching, shall we? our merchants have established connections to the rural settlements within and beyond our borders. As a result, these merchants are able to secure better prices for nourishment than what is expected. Okay. Unhappiness among the clergy. Differing opinions and interests over religious and secular matters between our government and the clergy have spilled over and become a significant source of conflict in our kingdom. The clergy are now making demands for changes in policy, stating they will withdraw their support for King Magnus IV of Bjalbu if refused. Maybe we lose -5 prestige, agree to their demands. It's soon been a year. The Age of Renaissance. A new era of knowledge, arts and progress is emerging due to growing interactions and institutions in the medieval societies affected by Pax Mongolica, the Islamic Golden Age, and the European Renaissance. Maybe we should go for diplomatic focus? Interesting. Interesting. So what ages are there? Age of Revolutions. The institution appeared in Brescia, Renaissance. Starting now in the 14th century, the wealthy and powerful in the Italian city-states have been patronizing artists and scholars willing to explore the old Roman and Greek societies of their forefathers. As a cultural movement, the Renaissance already encompasses most of the region and has had a profound impact on literature, art, philosophy, and music. Humanist scholars are also analyzing the society in which they live, comparing it to the ideals of the classic philosophers. Renaissance humanism has grown into a more mature movement, ready to permeate all aspects of society. A new ideal for rulers as well as those who are ruled is spreading as quickly as the early printers can distribute copies of these new ideas. A true Renaissance humanist is an expert on everything from politics and philosophy to art, textual analysis, music, and architecture. The Renaissance is now ready to reshape the world to better fit its classical ideas. Nice. Rural folk left behind. As our policies increasingly favor urban hubs and commercial centers, rural voices grow restless. In Buskerud, village councils complain of rising levies, neglected development, and the migration of youth toward the cities. The contrast between bustling urban markets and quiet, forgotten farmland grows sharp by the day. Some within our court argue this is an inevitable outcome of modern growth. Others warn that unchecked neglect may harden into rebellion. Damn, that looks bad. We cannot let our rural settlements dwindle. We change societal values by +10 towards traditional economy. Our burghers lose -10% state satisfaction. Oh well, this has been... yeah, just a start into this game, which is quite interesting, but I think I have a lot to learn actually. So yeah, this is a good off point. I hope you have been sleeping or resting, but yeah, I'll have to learn this game further, I guess, if I were to play it in my off time. But yeah, a lot to learn here, but it is looking quite interesting, honestly. However, this will be the end of the video. But we did reach the Age of Renaissance, so that is quite a good thing, I guess. But again, we have many playstyles. You could conquer every single thing here. Or yeah, do whatever you want. Maybe be a pacifist. Anyways. Just a little playthrough here. Beginning of a playthrough into Europa Universalis V. So I hope you really enjoyed this. And again, if you are bored, then watch this video next.